Don't get distracted. It's gonna be ups and downs financially, and this is what I'm gonna tell my kids as well. And that's why I work so hard to make sure my kids don't have to focus on money when they get my age, because it takes your creativity away.
Welcome to this week's episode of the Escape Your Limits podcast. Today's guest is an icon in the fitness industry, known for his raw honesty, boundless energy, and inspiring journey of redemption. From overcoming a troubled past to becoming a social media sensation and fitness entrepreneur, his story is a powerful testament to resilience and reinvention.
When I learned that I could kind of build a new organ in 7 years, I just went on the deep end, like, how can I do it? Getting people, helping them grow their wealth and get healthy, and that's money and muscle. That's what it's about. Just know that everything you do is being recorded, even if you think nobody looking, and that can determine your future. Stay strong, stay on your road you on. You gotta leave your environment, get away from negative people, destructive people, and know that you can change.
So I hope you enjoyed this week's episode with Mr. Cali Muscle.
Well, we're here in Gold's Gym, SoCal. Thanks, Mr. Angel, for letting us come in, and we're actually in the escape room. This is a brand new room in one of his new gyms, and I'm here with Mr. Cali Muscle.
Hello. Yes, sir. Doing it again. What's this, our third?
I think it says, third time lucky.
Is it the third? Yeah, because
Yeah.
I just looked at him yesterday. Yep, our third.
So how's the watermelon fast going? Or are you off that now?
I'm off it, but it's funny. Today, for the first time in a few months, I got some watermelon juice. But no, it was, I don't want to say tough, but it was tough to find good watermelons this past summer. So it kind of took my excitement away. Yeah, but it's an awesome experience. I'm glad, I experienced it, and I have that in my repertoire to, in my arsenal to do when I have to do it. So, yeah.
How long did you do just watermelon?
This summer, 40 days. Yeah, 40 days. And that was my goal, because the past year I did 32 days. So I said, this year I want to do 40. And so it was, like I said, it was tough because it wasn't no good watermelons for some odd reason.
What makes a good and a bad watermelon?
For me, seeded. Like, I want seeded watermelons. For me as well, I like it snappy. I don't like it where it's soggy or kind of mushy or had that frost on it. Oh, I can't. I threw so many watermelons away this summer. It was ridiculous. It was just, and I would just basically kind of starve. Yeah.
What was the most difficult part of, because 40 days is a long time just to have watermelons. What did you kind of hit any sort of roadblocks during that period?
No, it was just, like I say, the quality of the watermelons were the toughest part for me this year. And as I was doing the watermelon fast this year, I went to Miami for, I think it was I had already did about 28 days. So I had like 12 more days, something like that to go. And so when I went out there to Florida, I'm thinking, ooh, Florida, they gonna have some good watermelons. Sucked. And the reason being, it rained. It was rainy. In the summer, it's rainy season out there. So you gotta think, the soil is sogginess, it's not gonna be good watermelons. A guy even came in from Alabama with a truck full of watermelons, hundreds of watermelons just for me. Gave me, he gave me like 10 of them, 40-pound watermelons. They sucked. It's like California just had the best. Mexico have some good ones sometime. But the California. So I had to resort to eating the round yellow ones at Trader Joe's.
What, a cantaloupe or something are they called?
No, it was a yellow watermelon from Trader Joe's, but they from California. So I had to eat those every day until I was done. But it was heck of an experience, man. Truthfully, and a lot of fruitarians won't say it, it's not for hard workers. Because I had 2 bad experiences on both fasts. On the last day, both times, working out in the sun. Energy I never experienced in my life. I talked to some of my friends, and it happened to them. If you don't have enough nutrients in your body and your energy just crash. I don't know if it ever happened to you. And 2 times, both times on my last day of fasting with watermelon. So I'm like, I don't know if it's really, it's not a realistic lifestyle for somebody in my nature that's addicted to working out to the extreme. Because when you do those type fasts, truthfully, you're not supposed to work out. Yeah. And so that happened to me with the water fast as well.
How long did you do the water fast for?
I did the water fast 11 days. I did 2-3 days, and I went to 11. I wanted to do 21, but I got too excited on my 9th day and went and worked out because I felt so good. I had so much energy pent up. I couldn't sleep. It's amazing. Water fast is amazing. Out of everything I did.
When you say it's amazing, what is it like? Because you think clearer, or you sleep better? What
So you can't sleep, right? Your sleep is like, and it was good for me because I was doing a lot of stuff. So that was fine with the no sleep. Clarity, you getting all this gunk out of you that you don't even know in you. Parasites, all type of stuff coming out. And then it's godly. You like, what? I don't have to eat? Like I was going to the restaurants and stuff with my wife. She was cooking normal, no desire to eat. It's like a whole nother level of life. Well, and just to see the stuff, because I was just going to do 5 days. But at the 5th day, it was gunk still coming out of me. And I'm like, I got to keep going till I don't see this gunk coming out of me. And when I say gunk, I mean parasites and dark poop. And I don't know how that was happening because I had only been eating fruit. When I did the water fast, I've been on fruit at least a year by then. So I'm like, when I'm on fruit, my poop look like fruit. So how I'm on water and now I see brown and parasites coming out, it just didn't make sense to me. But I get it now. I was starving out everything. And so I recommend water fast to everybody. Well, it's, and all the books of God talk about fasting, but the water fast is amazing. And the energy level is bananas. You would think, I'm going to be exhausted and lethargic. And first 2 days, if you're not used to intermittent fasting or something like that, yeah. But I was already only eating once a day anyway, and fruit at that. So it was easier for me to go into it. Yeah, it was spectacular. I can't wait to do it again. I want to do 21 days next time I do it.
21 water.
Yeah.
Right.
And then from there, I want to do a 40.
Gee, what was that? Was that the one that they did in the Bible? Is that the
40
period?
days, 40 nights?
Right.
But they was on nothing.
Yeah.
They were just breatharians.
Breatharians?
Yeah.
I never heard of that.
Oh, you never heard of breatharians? Oh, it got a ton. Well, not a ton, but there's a lot. And the ones I know are popular. And, I know people that been with them. And they said, no, they don't eat or drink. They just go in the sun, do their yoga, Tai Chi or whatever, and absorb the sun's energy, and that's it.
It's quite an extreme decision to make, to go from consuming a lot of calories. I think there's a lot of videos of you online where you're eating all kinds of stuff, and then to go totally cold turkey and not do anything. What was the thinking behind making that commitment to do something as extreme as that? So the cardiologist told me a portion of my heart was basically dead. So I'm like, you don't, when somebody tell you a part of your body dead,
organs or something, you got to go extreme. Like, how do I repair it? How can I bring back that muscle tissue? So, of course, the big thing is autophagy, starving your body, and that's what, it's big now. People with cancer, or in my case, massive widowmaker heart attack that damaged the heart. Go autophagy, and them cells, your body will eat up all that dead stuff and rejuvenate and regenerate some new. And then what they say, 7 years, you can make a new organ. So when I learned that, I'm like, okay, I'm about to starve out this crap, do stem cell. I did that twice. I'm trying to do it again this coming Monday. So I did stem cell twice from umbilical cord. That's where they got the stem cord in Vegas.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Were they natural, or because I heard there's certain types of stem cell that you can't do in America, and some you have to go to another country for?
Yeah. No, mine, it's opening up now. So the people I went to, it's from umbilical cord. It's natural. And they did me IV to, go through all, for me, it's the heart that's damaged. And it's funny because C.T. Fletcher, he did it first. And he was raving on the internet how he felt. And I'm like, come on, bro. I've been hearing about stem cell. And I was researching it even before he did it. And
he had a heart attack as well, didn't he?
No, transplant.
Oh, right. Okay.
He got a new heart. And so I called him up. I said, son, I felt like a new man the day after. I'm like, come on, man, right? Everybody, you got to be a little pessimistic. And so he hooked me up with the place. We went together. He got it his second time. I got my first. The next day, I felt like a new human. My energy was through the roof. I'm like, what's in that? Because they did IV and they did sub-Q on me as well. And it's amazing. No,
For how long did that last? How long did you get the effects?
Now, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's just, you feel, after I did it, I just felt a state of euphoria. Energy shot up. Testosterone levels shot up, because it just goes in and heals any and everything that's damaged. So yeah, it was great, man. Like I said, I'm trying to get my third bout now.
Was it expensive to have that done?
So it's different prices. Mine would be the priciest doing IV. But fortunately, I could do a promotion or advertisement. And so that's what I did, several promo ads for them. So yeah. But yeah, so that was my thing, man. When I learned that I could kind of build a new organ in 7 years, I just went on the deep end, like, how can I do it? Fasting is number one. You know what I mean? Water fasting at that, to get the autophagy state. So yeah, that's why I just went all in. Now, so I did the fruitarian lifestyle 2 years. I added back in eggs and fish last month, and my energy went through the roof. You know what I mean? That lifestyle, when you in it, I feel good, this is how you supposed to eat, but I didn't feel nothing like how I feel now. It was all, I would have to say, like, hype, or I thought I was feeling good. You know what I mean? If you're doing something, you think you're feeling good. And most people don't know. They don't go to these extremes to figure out what really works for them. They like, oh, I've been eating like this since I was a kid, and that's it. They don't try nothing else. And so I just thank God for giving me the mindset and the courage to do different things and find out what really works for me. A lot, because one of my best friends, mentor, advisor, his name Ka.
What's his name?
Ka. We grew up as kids. He changed his name to that. He did a 21-day water fast like 12 years ago. And I was like, you nuts. I was all buffed up, 260, 250, and what? I got to eat every 2 hours. You ain't eating for 21 days. I thought it was nuts. And everybody else did too. And then it's funny, when I did mine, he just laughed, like, you here now, you know, and yeah, it's an awesome lifestyle, but it just, vegetarian, fruitarian, you think you feeling good, you know what I mean? Because you in it. But, and then I didn't eat, my blood type is type A, so I didn't eat bananas and different stuff that maybe some fruitarians eat and they could feel good. But for me, I felt good. I thought I felt good. But when I added them eggs and fish, libido went up, testosterone level went up, every muscles filled out, and you know, so it just, I've been there. I could talk about it. A lot of fruitarians, vegetarians go see this and they all, you know, try to chime in or save the culture or whatever. But I love it. I go back to it when I have to fast.
Are seated machines slowing your members down? With many people spending the whole day sitting in their car, at the office, and in front of screens, then you have to ask yourself, should you really be sitting down when you're exercising? As seated machines do not promote all body movement, then a solution that encourages standing, putting the body in an upright position, will make workouts more effective. Help your members break from sedentary habits with more active training. Are you interested in creating a more dynamic workout environment? Then contact us today.
So you've had an interesting couple of years, and a lot of challenges, I guess, in them. You know, what would you say has sort of tested you in ways that you may not have expected?
For me, the last 2 years has been, I would have to say finances, just the social media realm, you know. So when the heart attack happened, my supplement business dipped because people were like, why would I take his supplements? He had a health scare, and you know. So I bounced back from that. It took me about a month or two to recover from that. I'm talking, it took 80% dip, my supplement business. And so I recovered from it. They seen me still working out. They seen me still dibbing and dabbing with the supplements. And so I brought it back. But then I went into the fruitarian lifestyle. Now I tell people I was nutty. You know what I mean? When you get into that lifestyle, you're nutty. Fruit. I don't do deodorant, no toothpaste, no body wash. No, I didn't use deodorant. I didn't use deodorant for 2 years. I had to have a special toothpaste, no plastic, I stopped using microwave after my heart attack, so I haven't used a microwave in 4 years. And for me, it was easier, but, you know, it's not realistic. Like us as humans, God gave us the creativity to invent stuff, make stuff, to make our lives better. You know, I'm not living in the Neanderthal and, you know, in the bush or something. You know, these are conveniences that I enjoy. And so just being without it for 2 years was, so I'm saying that to say, when I went nutty, I'm like, I ain't doing supplements no more. I don't know what's that stuff. What's all this stuff in this? So bam, that was income gone. You figure anywhere from $25,000 to $50,000 a month. I could have sold the business, whatever. Or my thing was I had business partners, and I wanted to do an organic line, and they was just too concerned with the costs, right? So I'm like, I just can it then. Boom, that happened. My following went up like crazy because everybody gravitated to me that had health scares, heart attacks, diabetes, so they came to me. So my following went up. like crazy. And I didn't expect that. I thought I was going to be on a decline because all the fitness world, I thought I had mostly bodybuilders. And I didn't realize I had a lot of middle-aged fans. And so in that aspect, it went up. But I didn't have no more product at that point. Facebook, they just demonetize you for nothing. Boom, that's another 50 to 100,000 gone a month. And so that was 2 big incomes that was gone. So I had to, of course, I don't feel my lifestyle was above my means, but when I was in the thick of it, I was buying the cars, doing all that stuff to build the business, and I didn't expect it to crash. And so when they demonetized the Facebook, the supplement gone, I was like, ooh, shoot, it's time to get rid of everything. This economy go crash, and it did. Thanks to Bidenomics. And so for me, the last 2 years, that was my biggest thing. Having to make up something or think of a business plan that didn't rely on ad revenue from social media. And so I did it now. I started my program 14 months ago. I think it might be a little longer. And so even with that, you got to grind it out every day on the phone, DMing people on Instagram. And, it's fun. And that's ultimately what God made me for, is to be a coach, trainer, personal trainer. I used to hate when people used to call me that. I used to fight against it, and that's what I've been all my life. But I was trying to, are you a personal trainer? Nah, why you call me that? Nah, I'm bigger than a personal trainer, But I am. I'm a coach and a trainer and mentor. So now that's my entire existence, just getting people, helping them grow their wealth and get healthy, and, that's money and muscle. That's what it's about.
I spoke to my daughter, Shay, last night, and I said, I'm interviewing Callie today. And I said, have you got a question for him? And she said, if you were your 13-year-old self watching you, how you'd handled adversity, what would the lesson that you would want to give yourself back then? But I suppose my daughter was asking the question for herself.
Yeah, well, I would say just know that everything you do is being recorded, even if you think nobody looking, and that can determine your future. Like me, I did a lot of stuff I'm not proud of, and I was telling my friend today, how it's a saying, oh, this guy, he was a born killer, or, all that type of things. And, I'm just being transparent. That was me. I didn't, certain situations as a child and developed me how I am. My mom, whatever, did some stuff that made me all throughout my life be on the offensive. I was a reserved guy, like basically I am now. I'm the same guy as I was when I was a kid. Reserved, mind my business, handle my business. That was number one thing my mother taught me as a kid. And I cherish her for that. Mind your business. And that just stuck with me everywhere I went. That's why, in prison, in the street life, whatever, I didn't care what Joe Blow was doing. I'm focused on me, focusing on setting my life up to be wealthy and healthy. I just didn't have time or energy to worry about other people. So yeah, I would tell my 13-year-old self is, stay doing what you're doing. Don't get distracted. Your money, because I was money hungry, and that came from being deprived from my mother. Like, she would dress us up nice. I was dressed up in designer clothes as a kid, all that, but she wouldn't give you physical money like that. And I never forget, as a kid, and this what made me the hustler I am now. She was well off. My stepfather had his own business. Like, they was well off. Mother a nurse, making good money. So I was a kid. I went to junior high. And at this time, all the kids in junior high are kids of drug dealers, right? So they driving Mercedes Benzes at 13, 14, big donkey gold chains and designer clothes in junior high, right? So I never forget my first day at junior high, Elmhurst Middle School. I went to go get a lunch, right? I had $2 that my mother gave me. And I'm like, let me get some chili cheese fries and a Coca-Cola. And she made it up, put it in the window. That'd be $5. I'm like, I got 2. Baby, you ain't getting this meal. Right? And so I was so embarrassed. And, I was embarrassed. And I went home that night and asked my mother, Mom, can I have $5 a day? Nah, I'm just giving you 2. So I looked around, I wanted, how can I make some extra money? And all my friends was shooting dice. And so I had them teach me. The next week I had wads of money. And that started my hustle right there. I was like about 12. Yeah, I was about 12 when that happened. And I'd never forget, so I had a wad of money one day, and one of my teachers was looking down as I'm walking to class counting it after lunchtime. When I got to class, she said, let's go to the principal office. And I'm like, why? I seen all that money you got. What you doing, selling drugs or something? I'm like, nah, I've just been saving it. And I just came from shooting dice. And she took me in the principal office, called my mother, and my mother was like, how you get all this money? I'm like, shooting dice, what is it to you, right? Talking back. And the principal gave her my money, and I snatched it and ran off and ran away for about a month when that happened. And so that started my hustle and not to depend on nobody or nothing like that. So yeah, I would be like, just stay doing what you're doing. Don't get distracted. It's gonna be ups and downs financially, and this is what I'm gonna tell my kids as well. And that's why I work so hard to make sure my kids don't have to focus on money when they get my age, because it takes your creativity away. It just, when I was in college, man, I called my mother, like, man, I need a few $100s. Nope. I went to my football coach. Can I get an advance on my scholarship? I was there on full scholarship, academic and athletic. Nope. And the devil just was able to get in my head. Yeah. So that's been an adversity in the story of my life, finances and managing them right. And, I would just say stay strong, stay on your road you on, get financially literate, get financial literacy. That's
an important one.
Yeah.
They don't teach you anything.
No.
I think it was probably like until I was in my 30s that I actually learned just some basic stuff. I'm like, why didn't anyone tell me about that? And you have
I just started learning in my 40s. Yeah. Like, I knew you had to make a lot of money, but I didn't know,
how to invest.
Right. I mean, I got taught stocks and bonds in junior high. I was in a super smart class for all the smart kids, and I got taught everything: stocks and bonds, real estate, how to play chess. That's why I'm a good chess player to this day. And but it just was like, okay, like even now, here Grant Cardone or Dan Pena, all these guys. Oh, invest. Yeah, but you got to get money.
Well, yeah, that's
aside from your California bills to be able to save to do that. Mm-hmm. To this day, it's still tough for me to take a chunk and just, this is when I get 65.
It's a difficult mindset, but I say to my kids, like, you start now at 13, 14. It's so much easier. Like when you get older, it's that's why I wish, the same thing as you said. I wish at sort of 13, it was just like, just put a little bit. Like you can find a few dollars. Just kind of do that. And I wish I don't know whether they teach that to kids. I don't think they do. But
no, heck no. We got to do it for our kids. Just like me, I'm starting them young. Like right now, and start their YouTube, you got to make money. They already know, I got to make money a video? Yeah. So, that's, bro, I just look at your kids, my kids, big boy kids, they blessed. Mm-hmm. They blessed, because we've been through it. We know what, giving them all this information and game. My parents didn't teach me crap. You know what I mean? Like, they didn't teach me nothing. You know what I mean? And I learned everything for myself from school and streets and trial and error. Well,
one of the things that I was curious to know is that you've been through a lot of ups and downs. You've been to prison a number of times. Were there any turning points or moments when you just realized, I've got to change the trajectory of my life? You definitely had success. You've been to a great school, but you'd obviously also been led down probably a path that wasn't maybe the best place that you'd want your kids to do. So what were some of those turning points that you can remember that made a significant difference to where you were going in life?
So I'll never forget the main thing that happened to me. I had started, it was before I started bodybuilding, did some heinous crime. And this is after I did the 7 years and went back 3 other times. Like I tell people, I was just a straight demon. I was on demon time, as they call it, and for money. Everything for me was money driven. Did a crime. And at this point, I was about 32, I want to say. So after that, I was like, oh, man. I went to church the next day. And right then, I was like, I got to change, man. I vowed to God that I wasn't going to do no more of the devil's work. And so bodybuilding presented itself. And I'm like, okay, everybody tell me I could do this, so let me try it. I had some money from selling ecstasy in Denver. And I was like, let me invest in myself. And so I started bodybuilding. And as I started that, what really pushed me was I started bodybuilding, but I was still just in the, I want to say in the streets, but when something happened to my family or friends or girlfriend, I'm coming with guns blazing. And they knew it, and they would call me and tell me, hey, I got a problem, And my ex-wife, her father had did something and stole from her mother at the same house we was in. And I just went crazy, bro. Grabbed a weapon and pistol whipped him. And after that, my ex-wife at the time and her mother was like, you need to leave. And we was already talking about moving to LA. So she was like, I know y'all supposed to leave a month or two, but you need to go next week. I don't know, I left him bloodied up and, rest in peace. He ended up dying of OD. But, and so we moved to LA. And I'll never forget, on the way to LA, it was like demons just was leaving me as I was driving. And I seen the sign that said, entering Los Angeles. And it is City of Angels for me. A lot of people say a lot of bad stuff about it, but it changed my life, perspective, everything. And that's when Kali Muscle became Kali Muscle. I had to leave my environment. Or I would have, right now, I'd be dead or on death row if I was still in Oakland.
What would you say to someone that's currently in that destructive headspace and maybe not realizing that they can turn it around at all?
Well, I'm prime example. I was, working for the devil himself. And if you love not only yourself, but if you love your family, your kids, humanity, you gotta give God a chance. You gotta give the good side, the good life a chance. And that's what I deal with a lot of guys I call and speak to on a daily basis. They just don't have no confidence in themselves. Like life, man, is great. If you in that type of destructive environment, mindset, you gotta have the courage to part ways from that. And that's when, for me, I had to part ways from my environment. And I'm like, oh, this is what life really about. They don't know. All they think is negative and around negative people, drinking, smoking, and that's your life. You're a demon. You're working for the devil. The devil got you by the bootstraps. And I've been there, so I know. And like I said, once I came entering City of Angels, like life meant, I'm like, this is what life is about. And I didn't get it. I was already 34 at that point when I moved to LA. And so you got to leave your environment, get away from negative people, destructive people, and know that you can change or try. Most people already doing all bad and having negative thoughts. Have the courage to try to have good thoughts and do the right thing.
When you look back on some of those days, which I'm sure run through your head every now and again, do you now sort of feel any kind of purpose to translate a lot of your lessons into some of the coaching that you're now doing in your current venture?
Oh, without a doubt. For me, I was just talking to my buddy Jasar. I was just talking to Jasar, and for me, it's a daily journey to suppress the bad guy. Because that's, I don't want to say natural, but I've been dealing with him for so long, that's where I'm comfortable at. So for me, it's suppressing him. Like, nah. Every day he popping up. Like, man, just do this, do that. I'm like, nah, bro. I got twins and a wife, and I'm famous now, whatever. Nah. But when I was a kid, he was able to get in my head the bad side. We call him the devil, whatever, but we all got good and bad, yin and yang in us. And then, as a kid, I was like, you think I should do that? You think it'll work? Yeah, it'll work. And he over here, nah, don't do it, I'm telling you, right? And this one, he just louder. It's like the trolls on the internet. We only hear the loud ones, and the good people, not so, they kind of quiet. You know what I mean? Like, Khalid, no, don't do it. But he over here, bro, I'm telling you, you get away with it. Yeah, let's go. You know what I'm talking about.
I think we all have it, yeah. I think we all have it at different degrees. Is there something is there a situation, an environment, a state of mind that triggers that to become louder than probably what it should be?
So for me, it's social media, of course. Like right now, I'm back on edge like I was 10 years ago because of all the chatter on social media. Everybody talking about myself, Big Boy, and Wes. You know what I mean? All the three of the top guys in the industry. And, as we see a couple of weeks ago, a guy tried Wes. Premeditated, went to the gym, put up his phone, went over there like, what's up? You talking all that on the internet? And Wes handled his business, took care of himself, protected himself, and he's wrong. So it's stuff like that that has me tense at this moment. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's sad to be in this position. I never thought I would revert back here, because I've been through it. I've been getting, trolls and people making up stories for 15 years. And so I'm like, oh, I'm past that now. I'm a coach. I'm doing positive. I'm eating fruit. I got the most hate in my life eating fruit. It was right then and there, I'm like, it's nothing I could do that's gonna make people like me. Or the man eating fruit and you hate him? And so right then I knew, and even with West's situation, this man protected himself. Big old dude, 6'6", 6'7", pushed up on him, and he took him down. And he's wrong? Like, what type of world we living in? Like, what is this? You know what I mean? So it's just, they say damned if you do, damned if you don't when they don't like you. And that's all just behind success. Like, all of us are coaches. Me, Big Boy West, we giving everybody the format of what we do to be successful. And everybody, a lot of people still mad. I would have to say it's 50-50, but to us, it's 80-20 because the trolls and the negative people are the loudest.
Coming up next.
More money, more problems. But I'd rather be with money and problems than broke. So it really molded me into the true leader was running the prison game. Once you have a health scare, everything is urgent. Every second of the day, I think about death.
You've built a number of relationships over the years, some that you've clashed, whether it's people, you mentioned Wes and Big Boy and others. Like, what's your approach now when it comes to bringing people in your circle, collaborating based on what you've learned for some of these partnerships that have not gone as well?
So for me, I'm still open. Like, it's like, some people, they might have a divorce with a spouse and they get bitter. I'm not that person. I'm like, oh, that was meant to happen. You know what I mean? So for me, I learned how to let go when my brother died. He was my idol and he killed himself, whatever. At that point in my life, I was like, we could be friends today and you could leave tomorrow, like Miles. Like, okay, bye. But, ex-wife, I barely remember her name. And I know Kat, just for real. My wife had to tell me what her name is. So it's just like, when that happened in my life, and I'm an Aquarius, they say Aquarius are like that, like real just easy to let go or whatever. So, yeah, so I just, I'm still open to collabs, and I never got bitter like that. And actually, I'm more open now because I know what to look for. You know what I mean? If I see some red flags immediately, I'm like, nah, I pass. But mostly, I'm open to collaborations and still allowing new people in. And, I'm not, you have to be, because I did go through a situation where I helped a guy blow up recently. And just because I made a joke, he turned and started going on the internet. Oh, he's just this and that, and then, you know what I mean? I let him in my circle. And when I did that, even Big Boy, my wife, everybody was like, why are you letting this guy in the circle? And he ended up turning. Same with Big Boy. We see it over and over. So, but you can't get bitter. And that comes from me running prison gangs, and I already know my internal guys are truthfully my enemies at all times. That's how it was, So I'm used to it. But me, I'm real. All my life, I probably can name on 2 hands, probably a hand and a half, of people I called real friends. Probably not even that. Maybe 5 people now I think about it. And that's who the people, I was always with. And nothing never bad happened on my end. They just pulled away. You know what I mean? Wow.
How do you think about your own brand in relation to the people that follow you? You know, prior to the interview, I was watching some of the videos, reading the comments, and you seem to have people that are, you know, critical of your relationship with people like Wes and Big Boy for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
You know, are those just sort of, you know, are those because of people's perception of those people, or like how, you know, what would be going on in that situation, and how does that influence you in terms of who you collaborate with and strengthen those types of relationships?
My thing is, for me, God always in the universe always linked me with people that's like me, you know, always in my life. Big Boy, he's the Mexican me. Wes is the white me. You know what I mean? And that's how we all connected. And when we got together, like, damn, he like me, you know, we all alike. And when I say that, I mean our ambition, our drive, not to mention we all from California, so we like nice things, and, you know, and we all helping people, you know. And the problem with the internet is, and we've seen this with Tate brothers, they envy and jealous of success. Tate brothers got an awesome program, only charging $49 a month. My program, $27 a month. If I didn't have to charge, I wouldn't. I was just driving here. I was like, I want to help everybody get rich. Could you imagine if we was like Dubai? What do you got to be mad about? That my Bugatti got a bigger fin than yours, or what? You know what I mean? So all the people that's helping, they try to tear down. And it's the analogy of the Bible with Jesus. Like, they killed Jesus for helping people. And it's the same thing, man. I'll never forget, like with Wes, he was known and big and doing it, but when he got the Bugatti, Andrew Tate, when he showed the Bugatti, like, these guys, they all want this lifestyle, but they want to basically murder the people that's inspiring them to get it. It's just wild. It reminds me of me growing up in Oakland. If you had a nice car, you was getting killed. And some guys thought, I'll never forget, and it was always a 745i BMW. All my rich friends from selling dope that had it got killed. And I remember I was at the car dealership one time about to get a new car, and I'm like, dang, I want that 745. I'm like, but do I want to take a chance of getting killed? You know, and that's what the internet reminds me of. I could see if all three of us was selfish, just rich and flamboyant and F you broke mother, right? But we helping all y'all learn how we get it. And it's the most bizarre thing to me. But I always reflect back to Jesus. That's what really just keep me pushing. And like I say, there's a lot of people that's rooting for me in my corner. Like with my program, I'm calling up guys, they excited. So that gives me a positive outlook. It's just, you know what I mean? And by me, I see more positive stuff a day than negative. Because I'm so busy calling people on the DM. Oh, you want to sign up? You want me to help you? You know, it was just like today, you know, I open my Twitter and I see all this racist stuff, and I'm like, what's going on? I don't even know what's going on, right? Oh, somebody posted a video from 4 years ago that went viral. And now I gotta get attacked from something I did 4 years ago. It's like it's just replaying, you know.
How do you deal with that? Like, I guess obviously you've done a lot of stuff probably that you know you shouldn't have done, and as you said earlier, you know, everything is on camera and this stuff comes back now. But how does that affect you mentally? You know, for me, I guess everybody in some case likes people to like them, and when you get a lot of, particularly hate, some of the stuff that you get, which is quite, it's pretty bad, some of the stuff. Like, how does that ever get to you?
Like I say, it just have me on the offensive. So now I'm looking at everybody again, weaponed up, just being honest. And, when I'm out with my kids or family, I'm different because I'm on, what's up? Like, make sure I protect my family. But overall, it boosts everything financially. So for me, I told you, when I first started my YouTube channel, what drove me to start it was the hate. And for me, it was awesome. And it still is. Because I get that bad side I was telling you about. He get to vent. He get to release. With the workouts, y'all suckers, talking. Like, I get to release. It's like therapy for me. You know what I mean?
That,
yeah, it's like therapy. And that's how I started in the game. Working out, talking to the camera crazy, venting, because I read some comments right before I worked out. And so it's a driver, but it also brings up that bad guy, that I'm trying to suppress. So that's the thing with me. But I enjoy it. It's fun. But like I say, I just pray nobody get hurt in the process. Because like that was pure example I told you with Wes, dude. He told the police step by step what he was doing. I seen him on the internet talking, so I went to the gym to see what's up. Set his camera down. You know what I mean? This whole planned out ordeal. Now he want to try to sue or whatever.
It's a tool, like a lot of people, you've obviously got a course which is to help people blow up on social media. I'm just wondering if people realize maybe it's not as probably glamorous and beneficial as they think, particularly when you've got to be, like the bigger you are, probably the more critics you're going to get, even as a percentage, even if you only got like 5%. 5% can be a lot if you've got millions of followers. And, what would you say to someone that's thinking about sort of blowing up and being famous? It sounds like it's not all it's cracked out to be.
No, never have. That's why what was said, more money, more problems. But I'd rather be with money and problems than broke. Yes. Being broke, I always tell people, being broke is the root of all evil.
Yeah.
When I'm broke, that devil get to come in my head and chatter. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And that's the story of my life. When my money was low or gone, bro, I would go in the bank, whatever. You know what I mean? So being broke to me is the root of all evil. And money is like oxygen. You need it. I don't care what, it's like oxygen. You need it. And my mentor, Myron Golden, he like, people that say they don't need money is a habitual liar. And money is spiritual.
How do you say that?
So if you're not in tune with yourself, the universe, reality, that's usually when you're broke. But when you're in tune with yourself, your purpose, God, the universe, and in order to get rich, you got to help people. When you look at all the super wealthy, they helping somebody in whatever degree. Elon built the Tesla, Steve Jobs with the computer, cell phones, Walmart, Walton, helping. And so that's what I'm like. I let go of my ego with my program and was like, I'm going to basically give it to them for nothing. I had prices. I started out at $300 a month, $200, one. I'm like, bro, let's just do the Walton effect, Walmart.
Has that psychology changed? I certainly know as I've got older and evolved, money used to be the first thing, and it sounds in your conversation that helping people comes first and money comes second. But Have you always been like that, or is that a recent shift?
I used to help a lot of people for nothing. So what really molded me into the true leader was running the prison gang. In the prison gang or any gang, the top dude is always the one people after. So I read all the books, Sun Tzu, psychology books. I loved psychology when I was in college. That was my major. That was like what I loved. So I'm like, okay, in order for me not to have to kill any of these guys or they kill me, I'm talking about my own circle. I just, what you need, I make sure all of them had almost what I had, right? Because it's all about money. As long as they eating good, I mean, they eating almost as good as me, they fine. They'll kill for me. But as soon as they feel like I'm, over them and looking down on them, just giving orders, they gonna come for me, and so I truly learned politics and psychology running the game. And so even with people in my program, and another lesson I learned was selling drugs. I'll never forget, the guys around the corner, they had a certain quality, a certain size. I got a better quality and a bigger size for cheaper. It's called Cop and Blow.
It's good, what?
Cop and Blow. C-O-P and Blow, B-L-O-W.
Right.
And what that means is, okay, we get all this product, don't hold on to it. Get rid of it. By however cheap, and it's like the Walmart effect. Walton, he go get all this product in his store, and he said he only want 30%, right, profit. So it's the same thing. And when I had my supplement company, I tried to teach my business partners that. They're like, you Kali Muscle, you could get $60 a bottle. I'm like, bro, we only paying $4 or $5 a bottle. Let's undercut everybody, charge $15. We still getting a massive profit, double profit, and sell more. No, you're Kali Muscle. Let's sell these bottles $60. They want to make $56 profit off a bottle. Like, bro, that's 500%. And so I always lived by that model. I'd rather help as many people as I can. And, like I was telling you, even with my program, I had these prices, and it was just, I called thousands of guys, and they didn't have it. So now I finally, after 14 months, found a price. People like, oh, that's nothing. I'm signing up. You know what I mean? So it took for me to let go of my ego and the chatter in my head. Like, you deserve more. You could be charging this and that. Nah, let's get as many people we can.
You had a recent business venture that I noticed came up a bit online, which was a crypto coin.
Uh-huh.
Tell me about that story, because I was just curious what happened, because certainly a lot of people felt that probably, wasn't one of your best ventures.
Right. No, so a guy contacted me out in Miami. He was like, man, I'm in the crypto game, and are you familiar with the celebrity coins or whatever? I'm like, yeah, crypto stuff scammy, bro. That's it. I don't believe in that stuff, right? And he laid it out. He like, nah, you come out with your coin, Kali Muscle coin, it's yours, and you just basically pump it up, just advertise. People buy in, they go be pulling money as they buy in and all this. So I did extensive research every day for about 2 months. We'll be on Zoom 8 hours a day. We did live Twitter spaces like 3-4 hours a day. And they taught me, they showed me. I'm like, okay, it's like stocks and bonds. Like, I'm a stock and people invest in, and So I'm like, he was putting up all the money. He did the website, everything, right? Had a developer do everything. And so I'm like, okay, let's do it. So we launched it. It was at 2 million market cap in a day. And after that, it started dipping. And I didn't know the game. You know what I mean? That's what a lot of these people do. They get celebrities, like they got the Hawk Tui girl just did it and, used her to blow it up and they just rug it. So me and my team, we vowed we wasn't rugging nothing. I had 100 million, the investor had 100 million coins, and the developer, the dev, as they call him, had 100 million. And we still got all ours. But the people that was getting it, I was looking at it yesterday, the website, people would put in 2,000, take out 5,000. And so, they basically, the crypto guys basically rugged it. But it's still available and all that. But
how do you feel? Like, I guess it sounds like certain people lost money through that. Like,
yeah.
How? What was that? What did you take from that situation?
I was already skeptical. So deep down in my spirit and soul, I'm like, I kind of expected it. You know what I mean? Like I didn't. Even though he flew me out to Miami, me and my whole family, when we was out there in Florida for a month. I was hanging out with his family, him, and it was, to me, a good guy. Still is. He didn't do nothing wrong. But I didn't know I was supposedly be a prostitute for that coin. Every day, if they didn't see an ad, the people that invested, these people was investing $100 max. What? Why you haven't did a post, an ad? Oh, people would pull their money if I said something. Oh, what you mean by that? I'm pulling my money. You saying you're gonna rug it? It was bananas. So any person with a big following or a celebrity, just know if you're doing them coins, them people go expect you to be a little prostitute, a little slave for that coin, to pump it.
So what happens is you have a certain amount of coins, people buy in at, let's say, $1.
Mm-hmm.
It goes up to $2. And then when people see it going up, the people who have got shares take out their profits, which dumps everybody else. So unless you know when to take it out, you're gonna get sort of turned over.
Exactly. Okay. Yep. That's exactly what happened.
So how do you kind of I suppose probably a lot of people that have followed you,
fortunately for me, it wasn't a lot of people that invested. I mean, it got up to 2 million market cap, but the reason they got up there because whales, as they call them, invested their money and knew the game.
Right.
They invested 5,000, pulled out 8. They not mad. It's the brokies that put in $100 and then they lost $100. And it's not many of them. And I told people, and I showed them straight out, I still got all my coins. They're just a game of crypto. You know what I mean? Are you guys mad when Bitcoin, when it's go from 100, I seen it was 105 today, I think, 103. Are you gonna be mad when it dipped back to 6, 7? Who you gonna call? Who you gonna talk to? Nobody. Yeah.
Has it got you to assess the sort of business opportunities you get into, though? I guess I've been doing fitness equipment for 25 years, and you have different products. Some you think are great, some don't always turn out how you want. But ultimately, you're the brand, I'm a brand, and you obviously want to make sure that you've got as much longevity as what you can with the people that support you. How do you, now, are you a little bit more sort of shrewd when it comes to thinking about the things that you're going to put your name to?
Oh, without a doubt. And I'm very selective. And for me, and I always tell people this, I never had a lot of brand deals or none of that. So everything I've acquired and built was off ad revenue for social media, the supplements, my little stint in acting, so I never really had to deal with a lot of outside business entities per se. It's very like when I talk to people, they like, you don't do brand deal? Like, people rough around the edges, bro. And not to mention, we can't forget this. That's a factor, the color of my skin. And so it is what it is. You know what I mean? I take it for what it's worth. And God had me start the program. And that's what I'm most confident with, is my program, because I'm giving 1,000 times more than what these people expect, you know? And so, yeah.
When you face these types of challenges, do you feel a greater sense of responsibility knowing that your children are watching you?
Oh, without a doubt. Everything that I do now, I'm thinking about them and their future. Because like I say, my whole thing is I don't want them to experience what I had to, worried about money. You know what I mean? And I'm going to put them in a position, we already got the YouTube and all that. I'm going to teach them financial literacy now, how to do the bank and not to take loans out, and, you know, these credit cards will put you in a hole, and all the bad experiences. I'm going to give them game on how not to do, you know, what I did.
Do you think they did? Like, I think about this with my kids. Like, obviously you know, you're living your life, you're working hard, and your kids are there, and they're sort of looking at you, and they're seeing and they're learning and they're absorbing. Like, do you sort of also kind of think about, well, what is it that they're recognizing and learning from? Because you're a role model, ultimately, and like, it's like, well, does that sort of weigh on you at any point? I know it does me.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Everything, like I say, is you know, everything is about the kids with me at this point. And then for me, I had them, you know, older in age. And so for me, it's like, oh, I got to stay strong and buff because my son might try me one day, or you know what I mean? Yeah. I want my kids, when I go to school, they're like, my daddy muscles, and because I know how I was with my uncle. He was real buff and muscular, and that gave me the perception to be like that too. Like, that's how a man's supposed to look.
Well, you got a daughter as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and so my example for her is, you want a man that's hardworking like me, working out, go treat you nice and be nice to you.
That's when that devil's going to come back out again, by the way.
Oh yeah, when you get older. Oh yeah.
My daughter's 13 already, and I'm thinking, oh damn. I didn't think this was going to happen in my life.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I don't want to say prepared, but I'm mentally know where it's going. Yeah. And from you telling me as well. So yeah, I'm just everything I do is to be example to the kids, to my kids, and you know, from there it's to the people as well. But my main priority and objective is to make sure the kids know that their father is doing everything in his power in a positive manner to make sure they live a comfortable life.
Do you take time to like reflect and pull back for things? It's one of the things I've started to be conscious of in my life, where I just, you know, for years I've gone from one thing to another, and there's not been any space between how I react to what comes in front of me. And sometimes it's great because I instantly make the right decision, and sometimes I kind of react in ways where if I'd have probably stepped back and paused, it might have put me in a different position. So like, do you ever sort of have your time, like you talk about God quite a lot, do you have times where you sort of just kind of reconnect with more of a positive direction for, you know, what's influencing you at all?
Yeah, so that's a daily basis for me at all times. So after I had the heart attack, my mind, it matured, you know, and every second of the day, I think about death. And so I'm like, dang, if I die today, even though luckily I got life insurance and all that when I had the kids, but I'm like, how would they feel? Or, you know, just how would their future be? And so I'm like, while I'm alive, while I'm above the dirt, I got to do everything in my power to make sure they know their dad loved them and did everything for them to be successful, and that's every second of the day for me now. And it's a little annoying to have every second, you're thinking about death. You're thinking about you're not where you want to be financially, or, should I leave California? And it just, it's ongoing. My mind like a spinning wheel.
Do you use your fitness, your workout to give you any kind of like that mental therapy?
Oh yeah, without a doubt. So yeah, it's definitely working out. That's my time when I forgot what they call it, but that's when I reflect the most in the shower. I'm reflecting. Those are my two main points. When I'm doing my cardio, working out, and in the shower. That's like my me time where I can think and come up with creative ideas, and that's my time.
What's your training style now after you've had your heart attack? What have you modified your training? Do you still you still look pretty buff for your top?
Oh yeah, I just got,
like what are you? Have you adapted? Are you still doing a lot of weights? What does that look like?
It's the same. I do a push-pull leg routine, and even, with Big Boy, I never left, but since I've been off just eating fruit, everything's increasing. So I'm getting, me and Big Boy working out, I'm getting pushed to the max again, like today, doing crazy stuff. And I'm at that point now, to be honest, I used to be scared to death, but now I'm not. I'm like, I'm gonna do everything I can to stay healthy, but I'm not about to be no pussy. I was real cautious about things I was doing, like overly cautious, like, just, it's not normal to be that cautious when I look back on it. Now I'm like, bro, I'm living. Fuck it. And I still, eat. I told you how I eat mostly fruit, but I added in eggs and some fish. And my workouts, I had scaled it a lot back as far as intensity. I was still doing the same routine, but the intensity was like 50% what it used to be. And so now I'm like, bro, let's live. If I croak, I don't want to be all frail and sucked. You know what I mean? Like, nah. I want to, if I go out and when I do, I want to be known he lived his truth. He didn't pussy out. He didn't bag out, So yeah, I'm doing everything I can to live as long as I can, but I'm going to live, have fun, and laugh, and not just be drawn out on fruit, sucked up, dehydrated, libido. My wife, 10 years younger, she still want it. You know what I mean? Like, and she, oh man, I gained, when I was in Florida, I was down to 172. I was trying to get to 170. My body wouldn't go lower. And, my wife, she told me years ago, if you lose the muscles, I don't know, right? I don't know if I'm still going to like you like I do. And so, like now I'm back. I'm pushing 200.
All right.
And she like, yeah, you know what I mean? And it just, that's how she met me. You know what I mean? She met me swolled up, and that's what she liked in her man. So I just feel better, just overall, and so I'm having fun.
You're entering, I guess, another chapter and another decade, if that's what you could call it. Like, what's your life going to be about now? Like, and how do you balance you got your family, your business, and your own sort of personal sort of achievements?
So my thing now is I got to go hard this next 10 years. Harder than ever. Because I just was ignorant to what life was really about. You know what I mean? Like,
In what way?
far as in life, what I learned is that you go get 2 or 3 opportunities to gain wealth. For me, I only had, at this point in my life, I had 1 opportunity so far, but
what
it's
was that?
still there. In 2020 to 2022, made a boatload of money, but I was throwing it back into the business. And so I feel my next one is coming up. And you know how everybody rich do it. Donald Trump, everybody, they went broke, bankrupt and stuff. Like they first time having real money. And I just didn't know that the market was gonna crash, social media gonna crash, all that. I wasn't looking that far. And so now I know everything I get, I gotta grasp onto, and like how Myron Golden say, my money gotta make babies. So I know that game now, you know what I mean? And I don't know if you know Myron Golden, but he, same thing. Was rich, went broke. Now he in his 60s and blew back up. You know what I mean? So that's how I see myself. Like I feel my turn is coming again this year, and I'm gonna know how to gauge it. I'm gonna know what to do this time. You know what I mean? Like, you know.
Do you think that age has given you a sort of different depth of wisdom about that kind of thing?
Oh, without a doubt. Especially for me, because I don't feel I'm where I should be. You know what I mean? So it's like, dude, you ain't where you supposed to be. You know what I mean? So you gotta grind hard. Like, I got friends, even Miles, it's like they had kids and it just took the hustle out of them. For me, it 10 times my hustle when I had my kids. Like, I'm like, if I didn't have to sleep, I wouldn't. If I didn't have to eat, I wouldn't. You know, and so it's just like, we got to go. You know what I mean? It's just nonstop, man. And I enjoy it. I'm a workhorse. I love working. And so, you know, I'm at that point right now where I'm doing everything, filming myself, editing. I learned my website. I'm doing all my website stuff, calling people, DMing, you name it, I'm doing it. And it's, you know, this been the story of my life, been like a one-man show.
What do you think about the word or the experience of failure? Like, you know, there's probably a couple of ways I could describe that. Either not achieving what you've hoped, or in your case, you sort of like not being where you feel you should have been because a few things have not gone wrong. You know, how do you think about that, and how does that make you feel, you know, when you kind of reflect on those types of situations?
I know I made it. So I never feel like I failed, but I know, like we say, I was telling you, money is spiritual. I got that from Myron Golden. Everything wasn't lined up. You know what I mean? My mentality wasn't lined up. The money came and I took it for granted. And I don't even want to say that because, like I say, it's like Mr. Beast. He said he got his money, put it all back into the business. And that's what I was doing. And I'm just smarter now. You know, I know, like, bro, if you can't buy that McLaren, don't lease it or none of that. If you go buy it, buy it. Give them the $350,000 and be done with it. Because you don't know when the economy go crash or something bad go happen and you can't pay them notes. You know what I mean? And so that's my perspective now. Like, if I can't buy it outright, if I don't, and I don't even agree, like I was listening to Myron, he was like, if you could buy it outright, get it, but still find it. I'm like, nah. I done had too much bad stuff happen where, you know, like, you know, I was listening to Grant Cardone. He was like, oh, don't buy a house to live in. I'm like, nah. At first I was thinking like that, but when I had my kids and had a heart attack, nah, if I croak, I want my family to have something they ain't got to worry about paying. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So my perspective is different. Once you have a health scare, everything is urgent, and I don't want my family, like if something happened to me, my wife got to worry about bills, where they go live, and nah, that ain't. In the Bible, God says you should have an inheritance for your grandkids. And once Myron, well, I'm telling you, he the GOAT for me. He was like, when he said that verse, I had forgot about that verse. And when he said it, it just ignited me like crazy. Like, bro, I got work to do. I can't be messing around. Yeah. I got to have inheritance from my kids. Not just them, but they kids.
That's raising your standards to a different level.
Well, and so it just, yeah. But I'm on the right path. I'm doing everything I can to achieve wealth. And at this point, it's just, for me, what God allows to happen. I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do. You know, so it just, when the doors open, like boom, like it did with social media. I was just having fun doing what I was doing, and boom, it just went up like crazy, making $200,000 a month. You know what I mean? And so, yeah. So I know, I'm doing everything I can to make sure my future is right.
So my final question, Kelly, and I appreciate your time today. It's been an interesting discussion. Not what I thought I was going to end up talking about, actually. It was going to be very fitness-based, but we didn't really touch on that. But within the last 12 months, what would you say would be a memorable example of escaping your personal limits?
Escaping my personal limits. So for me, escaping my personal limits would be my program. Like starting that program, it was like a baby, raising a baby. Like you got to do all this, you nurturing it, and it's talking back, it's not doing what you want it to do, it's crying, whining, and you just dumping money into it, but staying head fast, knowing that's your purpose. And as you see, my business partner, he jumped ship because it wasn't moving how he wanted it to or fast enough. For me, I'm like, nah, God told me to do this. I'm sticking fast to it. I got examples. Wes Watson, I got they sticking to their program. And I already knew that it was going to be a slow builder. It's a business. You know what I mean? It ain't about to just, my first month I made $10 million. I mean, So for me, it was escaping the limits of never quitting. And I don't know what quitting is. I never quit at nothing in my life, and everything I'm doing at this point in my life is to do whatever I can to live as long as I can and as wealthy as I can. And so, yeah. So my limits is endless.
Well, it's good when you look back. I've sort of gone on similar journeys myself, and I think when you are like back to the beginning and there's nothing else, there's no sort of like safety net, and you've literally got to start from scratch, and you can kind of see why a lot of people do give up and they jump into different ideas because it's tough, and I've had a number of businesses over the years, and even with some of the new ventures that I've been doing, it's tough, it's disheartening. Sometimes you kind of question yourself, question your ideas, and I think you hear a lot of stories that people and you hear from people that have already made it, which I think is one thing, but I think a greater experience is hearing from people that are going through it, because they're going through the same questions and concerns, and they don't have that level of confidence, and you can kind of really, I can relate to those journeys more than someone that's actually done it, because when you've done it, you've done it. You've escaped the bullets or whatever it takes to take you down. So I think one of the things that maybe just as an idea, but kind of sharing, journaling the good days and the bad days, because I think that that kind of makes things a little bit more real for people that they're trying to learn to get somewhere as well.
Exactly. And all in all, I enjoy it.
That's the main thing.
Yeah. Like for me, it's like, I just enjoy the grind, and I've been here so many times, it's fun. You know what I mean? Having to figure out how I'm gonna pay rent next month. Oh, let me do this, and so it's a fun journey, I must say. And for me, I have total faith in God now. I'm like, well, if he want me to have this, I have it. If not, oh well. But back in the day, when I was younger, I'd do something dumb to get it.
That's right.
You know what I mean? I force it.
But that's an important point, because and whether that's because of awareness of God or what, I don't know. But I think sometimes, because I've always been the same. I'm like, look, if it's not going to go through the door, I'm going to force it through the door. And you end up pushing it through the door, and you're like, I didn't actually want to be through here. This was the wrong bloody door.
Exactly.
And in some cases, having that awareness of like, all right, well, this probably isn't the door I should go through. And it's almost like a sign that take that one.
Yeah.
Because that's not opening. And
exactly.
but that for someone that is driven, it's kind of almost like maybe having some faith that, all right, look, just sort of go with, work hard, but sort of also go with where things are taking you in some cases.
Exactly. Yeah. Because that was where I made all my mistakes in my life. I would force
Me
it.
too,
Yeah. Well, I would force it. And, but it's fun to me. It's life. I love playing chess. So it's like I just have to figure out what next, what now, what move should I make, and So ultimately, overall, it's all fun to me. I don't know what depression is. I don't like people. Oh, you had a hard life. Nah, it was hard. It was fun. I was just, and that's where I thank God for giving me this mind set to be, to have the perspective I have. You know what I mean? It's a gift to be able to have this perspective. I was 11 years in prison. I tell people I was having fun. It was like I was meant to be there. I felt like I was at home. That's why I went back so many times. I liked it. And then when God, nah, it's time, you move somewhere else and change your life. And I did it. So yeah, it's all perspective. Life is all perspective. And so I'm just thinking about these kids, raising them for their future, make sure I find out what they love to do. Different sports, whatever, singing, dancing, and I didn't have that. My mother, she tried to restrict me from even playing sports. I had to run away to play sports, and so I didn't have nobody like, oh, you want to try singing, dancing, acting, soccer, tennis? I didn't have that, but I'm grateful. I'm just so grateful. Wow.
Well, Kelly, thank you very much for your time today.
Oh, yeah.
I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, Matt.
Thanks.
Well, yeah.